So here's me and my girlfriend Jen. She's from Minneapolis. My dad, my mom, graduation last year, and then my brother Mike, he's a senior in high school. My sister Laura, she's a junior at Whitewater, and then my sister Emily, she's in her third year of chiropractic college right now in Minneapolis as well. So she'll graduate in 2 years. And then I went to UW Whitewater, got a bachelor's degree in biology and cell physiology, and then I went to Northwestern Chiropractic College in the Twin Cities, and that was another 4 years of fun on top of that. So.
Whitewater, woo-hoo!
Yep. So if you guys have any questions at all, well, feel free to just raise your hand, or else we can just answer them at the end too. And I've got some questions mixed in, and we got some treats. So whoever answers the questions right is gonna dump chocolate. It's not the best for you, but
I was like,
Everybody-
healthy
we'll talk about these more in the toxin talk.
That's good for the soul.
Yep, there you go. Good for the soul. It's only the whole bag. All right, go to the next slide then. So the biggest thing while we're here is to educate you on how to take care of your body, and you have to take care of your body because most people, they work really hard, you know, they work overtime, whatever, spend all this money on a nice house, and you live in your house maybe, what, 10 or 12 hours a day, but you live in your body every minute of your life, right? So we gotta take care of that first and foremost, because a lot of people, they take their body for granted, because we got our bodies for free, right? So people tend not to take as good a care of them, like maybe some men out there, you know, they put more money in their truck than they do into their own health, and, you know, if the truck, you know, gets wrecked, you can get another one, but when your body gets wrecked, what do? You know, it's a ton of money, and then you don't get another one, so. All right, and then next slide. So, have any of you guys ever been to a chiropractor before? Cool. Good experiences, bad experiences?
I don't know. Good experience.
So, what's so important about our spine? Anybody have an answer for that? Why our spine is important? Yep. Connected to everything.
Yay, chocolate bunny.
What else?
Houses your spinal cord.
Yep, that's pretty important, isn't it? Kind of the whole reason how our whole body communicates with each other. Yeah, so we live our entire life through our nervous system, right? And if there's ever any interference in the nervous system, if there's any pinching or any kind of a blockage here, then wherever these nerves go between the brain and the spinal cord, wherever these nerves go, let's say these nerves go to your stomach, if there's any kind of interference to that area, then wherever those nerves go might not work as well. So we might have some stomach issues like indigestion, you know, maybe some intestinal issues like irritable bowel disease. If that connection's not very good there, the intestinal work as well. And then of course pain too. You know, there's a ton of little nerves coming off here, and then a lot of people get pain in their spine. So the reason there's so much pain in people's backs a lot of times is because this is the main structural unit. This supports our entire body. And when this isn't lined up the right way, we're not moving the right way, and then we're not living the right way. So really important to keep this lined up so not only we move the right way, but also our body, our nerve flow is also the best. So every single cell in the body is controlled by the nervous system, and the spinal cord that houses and protects the nervous system, when that gets out of place, then your body lets you know a few symptoms. So that's why we feel pain. The pain's not the issue, it's really just an alarm going off saying, pay attention to this thing now, because if this keeps getting worse, you're going to be in a lot more trouble. So that's about it. We can go on and on about the spine, but we don't have an hour, so. All right, next slide, Tracy. Okay, so what exactly do chiropractors do? So, like I said, it's all about nerve flow. And when you adjust the spine, get those joints moving better, your motion improves, you're more flexible, you have better circulation. Then you prevent degeneration from happening in the spine, so arthritis, that slows down a lot. You prevent, your immune system gets better too, because your nervous system essentially is your immune system. So when you get adjusted, it keeps your body functioning a lot better. It prevents you from having viruses take over your body and from you getting colds and flus and sickness. And then it also, when you get that noise with the adjustment, we're not after the noise specifically, we're after joints moving better. But when you move better too, that crunching sound is just nitrogen gas bubbles coming out of the joint, because you create a negative pressure there when you separate the joints, and that's what the crack in the topping is. So it's kind of the pressure being released, because when we're standing all day, gravity's crushing our spine down, and when we release that pressure, that means we're just releasing that pressure that's being built up in the joint. So the chiropractors also, our main goal is to motivate, educate, and empower people so they can live long, happy lives. And so not only can our patients live long, happy lives, but also they can spread that on their families, and they can be happier and healthier, and that leads to stronger communities as well. So that's our goal, is to have people become healthier individually, and then, you know, they can have happier families, and then happier families lead to here's this is kind of a chart that I handed out to all you guys. It's called a Merrick chart. It just shows the spine, and then here's your head, here's your neck, mid back, low back, and then your hips that you sit on. And it kind of shows the nerves from those parts of your spine. So say the nerves up in your neck, they come out here, and it shows where the nerves go, what parts of the body those nerves go to, and then it shows some symptoms you might have if the nerve flow going from the brain through the spinal cord to these areas is interfered with. So a lot of those symptoms on there, such as headaches, sinus issues, high blood pressure, all that stuff. And then you come down farther, asthma, GI issues, digestive problems, and you go down, you have different areas of like women's menstrual cycles, you have issues with all the lower bowel, like colon, all that stuff. And then of course you have like white cramp, sciatic, all that. That's all correlated with the spine. And if you can take care of the spinal issues before they get to be a huge deal, then you can, once those areas are moving the right way and these parts are functioning the right way, then a lot of these symptoms go away. So most people resort to what? For headaches, they take, Tylenol, Excedrin, whatever. But if you're just taking pills to mask these symptoms, you're really not focusing on the problem, which is the nervous system being out of balance. So what we're all about is getting the body to function the right way, and then these things take care of themselves. So getting rid of the headaches is just a side effect of your spine working the right way. That's what we kind of see in the body, and we're all about health, healing from within versus throwing stuff from the outside and trying to get it into your body. So it's all about inside out, and then above down healing from the brain to the body, and then inside to outside of the body. Yep. If you know anybody with any of this stuff, please send them to a chiropractor at least at first to get their spine checked and see if they can make a difference with this stuff. Some of the stuff, we can't help, but a lot of the stuff we find that when we have people come in that have had it for a long time, we can make a big difference in their life. We find out, we do a really thorough examination, history, and then feel their spine, give them a treatment plan, and then a lot of the stuff tends to get better. So we don't care about any of this stuff. We care about it, but we just care about the spine. We treat the spine, and this stuff tends to go away. So, all right, next slide. Next slide, Tracy. So here's Richard Sarnat. He's an MD. He's a pretty big, nationally known medical doctor. He said that a lot of his research, he shows that people will go to the chiropractor first, just to go and get checked out, like once or twice a year. Like you go to the dentist once or twice a year to see if you have cavities. You went to the chiropractor to see if you had any kind of cavities in your spine. So if your spine wasn't moving the right way, then that would lead to 50%. What did it say? That could cut healthcare costs by 50% because people take care of problems preventatively before they get out of hand and you go to the hospital for a few days. Because you have to go to the hospital overnight. What does that cost? $5,000, $10,000? People wait around. And insurance covers some of that if you're lucky, but if you're not, then that could, a lot of money saved, but that can really hurt you and your family. I think the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is healthcare costs. So that's why you have to be all proactive and take care of ourselves first before we have to resort to going to the hospital and dealing with this stuff. And you can see, of course, 85% less pharmaceutical costs, less hospital admissions, less days in the hospital for people that go to chiropractor regularly. So it seems like money when you're going there and you're getting adjusted. You're like, oh no, $35 for a visit or whatever. But I mean that beats a $2,000 MRI or if you have to have some kind of invasive surgery to see if you have anything going on, that could cost easily $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. So you have to try to fix a problem first, the most conservatively, and then surgery is necessary in some people, but a lot of times people get surgery too much in our country. There's a lot of people on drugs that don't need to be on drugs. So what we tell our kids, don't do drugs, right? So we shouldn't be doing them either. All right, next slide, Tracy. Katie, you can press it one more time. There's some jokes thrown in here. So
Okay.
How did the geography student drown? Anybody know? 2 chocolates that get some rain. All right, you can go to the answer then.
Thinking. Give us think time. What's the think time? I don't know.
His grades were below sea level. They get better. Alright, we'll go to the next one. So the purpose of today is hopefully we teach you guys something. The word doctor actually means teacher. I think Greek or Latin or one of those two. And then why did you guys choose teaching? Any really motivational reasons out there that you can share with everybody? You want to share why they got into doing what they do?
This is a rough day to answer that question. I'll answer it, but the reason isn't true anymore. hours for a mom. And I was already a mom before I went to
Okay.
college. Nowadays,
No?
it's the opposite.
We have a chocolate for speaking of.
Thank you.
You can have one too for
Oh.
saying something.
I like
Okay.
watching the kids and when they actually start getting it, the light bulb actually comes on, and I first experienced it like when I was the lifeguard back in high school. It was like, oh, you're getting it. How fun is it to watch these kids get it? So it was to see those kids grow and get it. And I still love that part of it.
It's good. Yeah, it's funny how you can send a message around the world in about a quarter of a second, but then you can't send a message through a quarter inch thick of skull, for 12 years for some kids. So. A lot of patients do. You'll tell them, they might have to. You've been spending 30 years of your life getting your spine out of alignment with bad posture and how you work and how you sit at home, and then they just want one adjustment. Like, fix me, undo 30 years of damage with one little adjustment here.
Yeah.
Well, every adjustment's big, but it takes, our biggest thing is get people out of pain first, and then we teach them, how to move your body the right way, do a good posture, how to eat the right way, how to think the right way, all that stuff. It's all, adjustments are a really big part of the chiropractic lifestyle, but there's also, moving right, thinking right, eating right, talking right, all that stuff. It's not just one thing, you have to have balance with everything. So my wise, just growing up, my dad was a chiropractor, obviously, so I'd see a lot of people, get better under his care, and nobody once ever told me, your dad, nobody ever said anything bad about him. That's pretty amazing, for how many years he was in there. Or maybe they didn't want to say anything, I don't know. But just people come in, nothing into their body, nothing out of their body, just, you take out the interference, very, very safe, very cost effective, and I think chiropractic's definitely the answer to all of our health issues these days, a lot of the chronic issues that we have. Like, our medical system's really awesome for, if I broke my arm, we're the best doctors in the world for that kind of stuff. If you need surgery or anything done, we have the best system in the world. Or if you get a car wreck, or if you need your appendix was in a burst, get in there right away, because they're the best at doing that kind of stuff for acute care situations. But when it comes to chronic care, like diabetes and heart disease and all that stuff, our countries are really not, we're kind of towards the bottom rung in taking care of that kind of issue. A lot of it is diet related, I feel, and getting people to move the right way. And Dr. Means teacher, so I really feel that the doctors in our society have really done a good job on educating people on how to, really take care of themselves. And there's also, billions of dollars in marketing for you to eat junk food and stuff too. So it's, we just have to try to get everybody empowered to take care of themselves. And I think once everybody's stronger individually, then that'll make us a lot stronger, Dodge County overall. So how else our benefit you? We're giving you some good tips, some good stretches, some good exercises, some good things to do at your desk that can help you get through the day and not have headaches and have that chronic pain. And then we have a hot deal at the end, help me out teacher deal. So yeah, teachers are awesome. Really appreciate you guys. So I like to think we're the same as you, but we don't get summers off. So
We don't either anymore.
Yeah, spines don't take a vacation. I guess you have summer school. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, not even summer school, curriculum.
Curriculum.
That's the, okay, next slide then, Tracy. All right, so why are symptoms important? Does anybody know? I know it stinks to be in pain, but yep, warning, boom, good.
Hey, you're.
Loading up and getting in today. All right, that's good. Yeah, symptoms are definitely a warning telling us that there's an issue. So that's like a smoke alarm going off, the pain in your neck, or the headache's a smoke alarm going off. And if you just knock out the smoke alarm and taking a pill to cover it up, you're really avoiding, you're ignoring that fire that's going on. So those nerves, when you put pressure on, that's a real issue. So it's like if your car is, if your engine's squeaking a lot, you're driving, you just turn the radio up, and draw it off. So the problem's still there, right? So you gotta pop the hood open every once in a while, and that's what we do. We actually feel the body and see how stuff's moving. We open the hood versus just breaking that check engine light. All right. So the dreaded headache. Anybody immune to headaches in here? Anybody not have a headache ever?
Just had one today and I have to fill.
But you know, you have to.
Yeah,
In our
because you have
profession,
to.
you have to pop a pill because in order to get through the day, you
Yeah.
have to take something quick. If I don't take something on the onset,
Yeah.
I am out of commission, and I can't be.
I was hoping somebody would say they've never had one, so then they could send the rest of us talk. But I
Yeah.
guess,
Do dogs get headaches?
Oh, puppy.
that one is.
Yeah.
Even guys get them sometimes.
Even eyes.
So yeah, nobody wants a headache. Obviously, if you have a really bad headache, you're going to suffer with them for a long time. That's like a day of your life taken from you. And we only get so many days, so we should never. I mean, if there's an option or a solution to get rid of them, there's no reason why we should be having them. We had a lot of really good results in people with headaches in our office. Next slide, Tracy. So frequently caused by compression of the cervical nerve roots and prolonged tension of the neck muscles. And then it says that the impact of chronic headaches has been kind of underrated by the medical profession. A lot of doctors will say, they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, it's all in your head, or else, take this muscle relaxants and then take this, whatever drug to cover it up. But the problem's still there. You didn't take care of it. The real problem at all. You just, kind of temporarily blocked it up. So it's kind of having a leak in your roof, then you just put a bucket underneath it and you're like, oh, fixed. But that's not going to work for too long, is it? All right, next one, Tracy. So here's two of the more common causes nowadays. A lot of it's forward head posture. So a lot of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys are on your feet a lot of the day, but then a lot of times you have to sit at your computer and grade papers and stuff, and then you go home and you drive home, you're sitting in front of the TV, our heads are tending to go forward a lot more these days. And forward head posture, FHP, is really big. So what we want to focus on is we want to have the ear over the shoulder here, but a lot of people, they tend to go forward here, and your head's kind of like a big bowling ball on top of your neck. And when you hold the bowling ball here, it's a lot easier than if you hold it out here, right? So just think of your neck muscles trying to hold up that head all day long, so it has to go farther and farther forward. That's a lot of stress on those muscles. And as your neck goes forward farther, then your bones shift out of position, and those bones shift out of position, you put pressure on the nerves, and that's what causes all that pain. And then text neck, I'm sure you've seen a few kids on their phone. Even babies, a lot of babies have tablets now, and look at, they're just developing a lot here. And if their head's down all the time, they're trying to get that nice curve in the neck that's going the opposite way. If they're trying to get this nice curve right here, then their head's always down all the time, that's not going to form the right way. So, yeah, just think about your babies' heads being all jumbled up when they get older when they're on there. Or at least, maybe have them do tummy time and they can do it better because then their head will be. So, now of course, kids, their heads are always down all the time. And bad for them, but good for chiropractors, right? Because they're always unless we tell these kids how to text correctly. Maybe you stand up here, I don't know. Maybe just have 20 minutes of phone time all day long. Maybe we could invent they can lay on their back and do it or something, I don't know.
There's an invention out there for that.
Yeah. Alright, next slide, Tracy. Alright, of course, sports injuries are a big one too. People get, maybe you had some high school injury that you had, or maybe you fell out of a tree, or you slipped on the ice one day and you kind of got whiplash, and you hit your hip really bad, and your head got messed up a lot too, but you focused on that hip because you maybe had a big cut there or something. A lot of times, kids in sports, they'll get their head kind of twisted or tweaked, and they'll be sore for a few days, maybe a week, but then it'll go away. But underneath the skin, they probably tore a few ligaments or strained a few things, and then when that tissue has to heal again, the tissue will only heal to 60 or 70% of its original strength. So as they go through life, that area is going to break down faster, and that's going to cause a lot of neck issues, and that can lead to headaches too. So if you have any high school athletes in your family, or if you're a coach of any teams, it's important to make sure that they're always using good mechanics and that they're always taking care of injuries when they get them, because you kind of just shove stuff off, once you hit your 20s and 30s, it comes roaring back, and then you're like, huh, just kind of came out of nowhere, but really it happened, during high school athletics. So, next slide, Tracy. Then of course we also have thoughts, traumas, and toxins are all three big stresses that play a role. What we eat, the kind of cleaners stuff we have in our house, we'll talk more about that in our toxin talk. And stress is a big one too. A lot of times people hold their stress up in their shoulders. I'm sure a lot of you guys have tight shoulders up here, especially when it's cold outside too, kind of crunch your shoulders up. And all these nerves are connected to your neck as well. So when you're holding up a lot of stress there, that can contribute to headaches too. And then whiplash, of course, with car accidents, your head goes forward and snaps back. That can cause a lot of tearing, and usually people in car accidents, they don't get the proper treatment after the accident, and they have issues, 2, 5, 10 years down the road because that area never healed the right way. Because those bones are out of alignment, and that causes everything to kind of break down quicker. So nobody's ever eaten this before, right? Good. And in the stress talk we'll talk about how when you stress out, it affects all parts of your body, your brain, digestive system, heart, all that stuff. Then we can kind of talk about how to combat it too. Again, next slide, Tracy. So there's a little anatomy lesson. You guys probably thought school was over for the day, didn't you? So here's severe spinal damage at 0 miles per hour. So maybe this is some of you guys, at 4 or 5 o'clock after you've had a long day with the kids and you're on the computer, you got to get something crammed in. Maybe some parent-teacher conferences coming up, you have to do some paperwork. So as you can see, this whole spine is getting kind of worn down there, and all these muscles have to work a lot harder to get out of place. And then these nerves in our neck, they come up here, and they kind of go around. That's why when you get migraines, you might feel it behind your eye. These nerves come from the neck, they kind of go around here. And sometimes you feel headaches on the side of your head, and sometimes you feel a lot of them like at the base of your skull too. And different nerves, different bones in the neck, when they're out, they cause different symptoms. So a lot of times when the head's out of alignment too, it causes issues with the blood vessels, because all these nerves go to control the blood vessels too. So when the nerves are not controlling blood vessels the right way, you might feel like a lot of throbbing in your head maybe, a lot of tension, a lot of migraines are caused that way. So when you get this area moving the right way, you'll be able to have better posture. A lot of this stuff, it works the right way, and then headaches tend to go away pretty quickly once you figure out the right way how to treat somebody. So, yeah, that's the head. Next slide, Tracy. And then common treatment, like I said, a pill for every ill in America, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and risks. Did you know that the same amount of people die a year from NSAIDs as they do from AIDS in our country? Because people use them enough, they're really bad on our stomach lining, and they tend to give us ulcers and stuff, and people, as they use them a lot throughout their life, they can cause you to bleed out internally from inside, and then they can't control it once it gets really bad. So if even if you've had 3 or 4 pills a day, that's 20 or 30 pills a week, and that can be 1,500 pills for the year. And it doesn't seem like a lot each day you do it, but 1,500 pills going in your body each year can add up to be a lot. You do it for 20 years, that's 30,000 pills you've eaten. And like I said before, all they do is, they just kind of take out the, all they do is, they take out the symptoms, but they don't really fix the problem. Plus now your stomach's wrecked, so. Yeah, nobody wants an ulcer, it's no fun. More deaths in asthma, more deaths in cervical cancer and Hodgkin's disease. So, alright, next slide, Tracy. Yeah, they seem pretty benign, right? You get them in the bottle, but.
Yeah. The doctor prescribes them.
Yeah, and then they don't really take them off the prescription here because people just get used to them. So, the question I like to ask people is, if we have to take x-rays of their neck, we'll ask them, we'll find out how their bones are situated in their spine, and then we'll say, this bone's out of alignment. Now, what pill or drug will move that bone where it has to go? Because that's the real issue, And then what can you say? Not the drug's not going in your neck to fix that area, is it? So, if anybody knows a pill that does that, let me know. I'll give you 5 chocolates. But, yeah, this might be a few guys at the end of the day kind of banging your head on the. Alright, next slide, Tracy. So a headache is not an aspirin deficiency, like I said. Try chiropractic, that's my best advice if you have been suffering with headaches for a long time. So most people think it's like the regular headache that they have every day, but no headaches, no pain is regular in your headaches. A lot of people don't get them. So it's your body crying out for help, saying, call your chiropractor. Alright, next slide. Alright, so like I said, don't do drugs. Or only do them when you really have to, when you're in an acute stage, you have to do them every single day. It's really not the best idea. So, you see Macaulay Culkin didn't really turn out too well for him, and I don't remember what her name is, but Lindsay Lohan, yeah.
Yes.
So they do a lot of drugs. This is what your stomach line looks like if you do a lot of aspirin. Yeah, we're telling the kids not to do drugs. We probably should be doing them ourselves. All right, next slide. I think this might be another joke. Why did the cross-eyed teacher lose her job?
Pretty bad.
Alright.
I'm not funny.
Because she couldn't control her pupils.
Seems obvious now.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Alright.
I was a little cross-eyed at
Because here's just a kind of a picture of the head and how it kind of falls forward throughout the day. So if you have a 12-pound head at the beginning of the day, as you kind of go through and your head goes farther forward, every inch your head goes in front of your shoulder, it doubles the weight of it. So you guys maybe have seen the old lady at the grocery store that's pushing her shopping cart and she can't really look up at all, she's just kind of looking down. Like that, you don't want that to be you. So the biggest thing we can do is try to make a difference now, and you want to be able to, see in front of you when you're 70 years old. So it's always beneficial. So, and then this head going forward contributes to a lot of tightness, a lot of pain in the back here as well. And then once you're forward like that too, it also decreases your oxygen you take in your body because it's cutting down on your lung supply, because your lungs are getting smaller the farther forward you go and the more you slouch. So that can contribute, to heart disease and all kinds of other things too as you get older. So we want to make sure that, we have good posture all the time, we're getting plenty of oxygen in our body, and when our cells have more oxygen, then they're a lot healthier too. And then our body has only a low amount of oxygen in our body, then diseases like cancer and heart disease and all that stuff are a lot more frequent too. So taking deep breaths throughout the day and having good posture is really key to being healthier overall. All right. Next slide, Tracy. So safe, effective headache solutions. There's a ton of research in chiropractic and being safe and effective for headaches. And then we have more research now than we ever have in the past. And we do a lot. We adjust. We do the right stretches. We do muscle work too, and then we teach you how to do stretches and muscle work on your own at home. And we teach you posture stuff as well. So we don't want you coming in forever to our office being in pain, because your people complain all the time. It gets old after a while. We want people to learn how to take care of themselves, and then come in, every once in a while just to get checked and make sure that you're on the right track. That's the biggest thing. We're just, we're kind of your partner in health. And the best doctor in the world is inside your body, because no doctor, the best neurosurgeon in the world can't go inside of you and make your body work, right? That's come from within you. And when you remove the interference that's preventing you from living the right way, then you can heal the right way and ultimately function the right way too. So, all right, next slide, Tracy. All right, so is this true or false? I heard that once you start going to chiropractor, you have to go forever. False? Oh, heard a couple of them out there. Who said it?
No, I'm good.
Good? All right.
I had one piece.
Yep, that's false, because, you don't have to do anything, nothing you have to do in life you have to do forever, really. You don't have to brush your teeth every day, you don't have to comb your hair every day, you don't have to go to school. But if it's really good for you, it's really beneficial, it makes sense to, go over once, every few months just to get checked out. Even if you don't think you have anything, it's good to figure it out sooner. A lot of people will say, well, I don't want to go, I'll have to go every day the rest of my lifetime. But it's like, you don't have to do anything. Nobody's going to come to your house and rip your hand and pull you into an office and make you get adjusted. It's all, it's just, showing the benefit, and they see how good it is for you and how good you can feel, not just feel fine, but actually feel awesome and work awesome. Then, it's like, why not come in? So. All right, stretch break, everybody. You can get out of your chairs. We can do a couple stretches, show you how to make your neck feel a little better. So a big thing to do is, like in your little sheets that I gave you, I said every 50 minutes, right, or 10 minutes of movement. But I know it's kind of tough, if you get a job or somebody, you have a boss that doesn't want you to take a break every 10 minutes. Just try to do this as much as you can. We'll do some neck rolls, so kind of roll your head all the way around as far as you can go.
Cracking.
Yeah,
Here's some noise out there.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, even just doing this even once or twice a day is really beneficial at keeping that range of motion. Because you want to be able to...
Go the other way.
Then you kind of go side to side like this, just get all those muscles stretched up. Back and forth. And even kind of pulling your head forward is really good. You can stretch out the muscles up by your shoulder blades there. And you go to the side like that, and then you can go back like that. That'll work the big muscle right here, that sternocleidomastoid muscle. And then a lot of the times too, here's another cool exercise for you guys. You can take your chin and try to just tuck it in, like this.
Yeah, great.
Go back up. Go back up. Tuck back in. And that works with really small muscles, those anterior scaling muscles that you have right here. And those get really weak when your heads are forward all the time. So just kind of bring your chin in every once in a while. It's really beneficial to prevent that neck pain and neck damage. Yeah. Another good one too is because we sit all the time, our shoulders tend to kind of sag forward. So just find a partner and try to kind of go like this on, and you kind of stretch out your pec muscle there like that, and just try to get a good stretch right in the chest. That's really good too. You can use a wall, or else you can use a partner too. Just kind of put your arm on them and stretch yourself out on them. You kind of go like this. Put your palm on like this here, and kind of stretch forward like that, so you feel it right in the front.
My arms out that way.
Oh, it's just like
This way.
Kind of feel it loosen up a little bit.
Oh, that was tired.
Yeah, nice stretch in the chest there.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, shoulder rolls too are really good.
Because mine,
that was
You lay off 100-pound dumbbells and shoulder raises. So, yeah, just doing
I'm just gonna stand here for a minute.
just simple stuff like that. Just try to bring your shoulders back.
It's not holding me up.
Take a breath and just let it out as you go down. That'll
So I'll be at the board.
Yeah, even trying to pull your shoulders back too is really good too. So, try to pull your shoulders back like this. That's also a really good way to try to counteract pulling forward all the time. try to pull it back, and your brain gets energized when you stretch out, because 90% of our brain function is actually coming from the body. Our brain is controlling our whole body, and it's controlling all those different joints in your body, and controlling how it moves. So when we kind of stretch out, that wakes up all those joint fibers, and they're firing a ton of different signals at our brain and kind of spurring it to act more. That's kind of why we feel more alert when we stretch. And then when you sit and are kind of a slug, sitting in your chair, your brain kind of slowly shuts down because you're not moving your body, and it's not keeping the brain active. So, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, just like bending over is, you have muscles contracting, muscles that are relaxing. There's a million things going on. We're not even thinking about it, but our brain's processing all this at once. So the more you can move around and just kind of twist around and stretch out, the more that you're activating your brain and signaling it, that there's a body down here, and keep awake, because if you're not moving, the brain's not gonna work either, because it's like you're not using the body, so why should I, put the effort into making you realize it's there. So, like I said, stretching too is really important to prevent injury, and then it also kind of stimulates circulation and all that good stuff too. So, a lot of you guys, if you're typing a lot during the day, just try to stretch out the wrist, go side to side like that, kind of go forward, stretch it out. You can put your hands like this and kind of go like that. Stretch out that carpal tunnel, then you kind of go down like that too and do a reverse. That'll really help to stretch out that wrist. It's kind of like something like this. Reverse. Yep. Feel a good stretch there in your wrist. And you kind of come down like that and kind of go down like that. Then you can go reverse too like that. You can kind of bring the backs of your wrists together, kind of come up like that, and then just stretch it out. So, yeah. We adjust a lot of people's hands and wrists at our office, because a lot of times when you're typing all day and stuff, it causes your wrist bones to drop out of place. A lot of people get carpal tunnel surgery. It feels good for a month or two. Some people get good relief, and that's real problems. But a lot of people have issues in their neck, and all those nerves that come out here, they go all the way down into your hands. So some people get relief right away, and some people don't get that much relief because the issue's really not here. So, all right, we can sit down again. Try to hammer through another couple slides. You guys are doing great, by the way. Not too much talking. We have a lot of chocolates left. So, anybody here have fibromyalgia or know anybody with fibromyalgia?
My sister-in-law went to the emergency room last night and they gave her a bunch of pills for it.
I will be your best patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the biggest thing about fibromyalgia is that it just means muscle pain. It really doesn't tell you what's going on. It just means your life's kind of stinky right there, because you have a lot of issues and there's really no cause that they can find out about it, but they just kind of want to calm it all down by taking some chemicals that will kind of block that pain. So like I said, there's always a reason for pain in our body, right? So like I told a couple 7th grade classes I talked to in HorrorCon the other week, I said, pain's a smoke alarm, and if you find the pain, if you take care of the body before the pain becomes a big issue, then you just use a little fire extinguisher. But if you wait a long time, that pain's going on for a really long time in your body, months, years, whatever, then that could, this could be your body burning down. Then you have to bring in the big boys, hook and ladder truck to take care of it, versus, when you could use the fire extinguisher in the beginning. So this is like going to the hospital to get a problem taken care of because you waited too long for it. This is like going to the chiropractor, getting a problem taken care of before it becomes a big issue. And a fire extinguisher costs a lot less than a hook and ladder truck does. So, all right, is it really all in your head with pain? Anybody know? Well, technically it is, because that's
The nerves.
but yeah, all the nerves. That's where you register pain. But yeah, the pain is really just a signal saying that you have an issue going on in your body. So, well, the doctors say it's all in your head. They're technically right, but there's actually an issue going on, in your body that you need to pay attention to. And yeah, so yeah, pain is definitely a sign saying, pay attention inside now. That's what pain stands for. So, all right, next slide, Tracy. So, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, whole body involvement. The biggest thing is locate the main stressors in your life. So if you can have like a stress survey of some kind, you can find out what stresses you out the most in your life. Somebody say kids out there? I don't know. Little angels in your desks. Diet's a big one. You got to make the connections between, you got to find out if the parts of your body are all connected the right way, see if the bones are moving the right way so the body can function the right way with the brain to body connection. And then you have to get a really thorough history and exam, because a lot of times, you'll go to the doctor and you'll just tell them you're in pain all the time and you have a lot of achy joints, and they'll be like, well, you have fibromyalgia. They really won't look much deeper than that. So if you go to somebody, you want to make sure that they do a really thorough history and exam on you, and they can really get down to the bottom of you, because the doctor's not supposed to treat your pain, you're supposed to treat the person, right? So if you just treat the headache, you're really totally disregarding the person's whole life and who they really are. You really want to take care of the whole person versus just treat whatever diagnosis they have. Because diagnosis is just a number, it doesn't mean anything. So what we like to do is we do a dietary analysis in our office, and we try to find out what main stressors are in your life, and then try to figure out how your whole body is kind of working. So, yep, next slide, Tracy. Kind of a bigger picture thing. So the biggest thing is get to the root of the problem. So we like to talk about true health, thinking better, restful sleep, unleashing the nervous system, so making sure your nervous system is working really well, and then exercising and eating well is huge. So TRUE, that's really big. Yeah, chocolates. One chocolate at a time.
Yeah.
One bag of chocolates at a time.
Yeah.
Probably have a few words. So getting to the root of the problem, because these are the symptoms up here. Kind of like an iceberg too. You see the tip of the iceberg, those are symptoms. Then you look underneath. Here's a whole iceberg underneath it. Like that's the real problem. It's kind of like Titanic got sunk from a little thing on top, but there's really a lot more going on underneath. So it's all about doing really finding out what's going on in your life, and then looking at all the variables and seeing if there's any connections there that are making sense and on the path of how you get to that. So, all right, next slide, Tracy. And I can do probably a 3-hour talk on all those things too. So pain in your body is a brain drain. So a lot of chronic fatigue when people have pain a lot of times. Like I said, you only think with 10% of your brain, and then 90% of the brain is controlling the rest of your body. So if you have a lot of back pain every single day of your life, your brain's constantly in overdrive worrying about that back pain, because that's an extra stimulus. And then that's kind of coming into the 10% of regular thinking space you have in your brain. So actually, you're less smart when you have pain in your body, because your brain has to put more resources in focusing on that pain you have every single day of your life. Also, people that have a lot of back pain, there's a study that people said they had more brain wasting, and they're like more likely to have dementia and stuff, because their nerve fibers in their brainstem and stuff had to work a lot harder, so they wear out faster because they're constantly dealing with those pain signals coming up to them all the time. So I know the reason why you want to take care of the pain in your body. So, true or false, we only use 10% of our brain. False. Yep, correct. Good. So, sore back equals lower level thinking by you. Alright, next slide, Tracy. Alright, why do they never serve beer at a math party? Any math teachers in here? You guys know this one?
I know that we started a math lab today, and the kids are calling it a meth lab.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Doesn't beer make Budweiser?
I don't know, that's...
Oh, is that it?
That's
Oh, I get it.
close, but... You cannot drink and derive.
Oh, wow, yes. Yep.
My dad knows exactly.
Oh.
Good answer out there, that's
He
good.
just wanted a piece of candy.
I like that one, that was good.
Alright, so why should we stretch again? Like I said, it's a brain boost. It turns your brain on, turns that brain power on, and then flexibility is so important, because the less young you get, the more, the less young you get, the harder it is to kind of become more flexible. So, do any of you guys do yoga or stretch on a daily basis? You guys do? That's good, yeah. Keep stretching, that's really important. And you want to try to stretch, before you stretch in the morning, try to wait a few hours, or at least walk around before you stretch in the morning, because when you sleep at night, the discs in your spine, they tend to get pretty puffed up and big because you don't have gravity on them, because you're laying horizontally. And then if you wake up and start doing a lot of twisting and stretching right away, you can kind of put a lot of torque on those discs. So you want to try to warm up a little bit before you do stretches in the morning. Because if you try to do a lot of twisting and stuff like that with those big fat discs, you might do some more damage. You might kind of hurt a little bit. So try to stretch a little bit later in the day. At least warm up. Alright. Next slide, Tracy. So life is motion. The more you move, the more you improve. And that applies when you're moving correctly, of course. So if you have some bones out of place and you're moving a lot, but you're moving the wrong way, that's going to wear those bones down, those joints down a lot faster. And then kind of like when you have tires that are out of alignment, you can see this part of the tire is worn down a lot more on that side, because those tires aren't on the car the right way. So if this was your hip joint, say, one side of the hips are going to wear out a lot faster than the other if you're, constantly walking on one side. Even, subtly, if they're off a little bit, it's really important to get them checked out with somebody who knows what they're doing. They can see them in an objective way that deals with it, the joints a lot, like your chiropractor. So, are you well aligned? Do you guys know? It's important to get checked and make sure. So, next slide, Tracy. So, is chiropractic some sort of a religion? Anybody know? So I heard like 10 people say, "Oh, I totally believe in chiropractic." I'm like, if you don't, it doesn't matter. It still works, you
Are you
know.
open Sunday morning?
You never know Sunday morning, so it's kind of like, you know, it's like if somebody said, I don't believe in teaching. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of the same, or I don't believe in plumbing. You know, it's, you know.
Well, isn't it thought of more of as a holistic way of medicine? Like
Yeah.
that people are starting to think of using more of the like
Natural ways.
natural
Yeah,
ways and
alternative healthcare.
Asian holistic and like.
Yeah, a lot of it's like chiropractic it's just like, you know, the nervous system controls the whole body, right? We all know that. And then if there's any interference in the nervous system, the body won't work as well, right? So that's what chiropractic is all about. Removing that interference, then the nervous system works well. So it's pretty much basic science is all chiropractic is. And I think just the people hear the name and they get weirded out by it because they've heard stories of somebody that messed somebody up with chiropractic and then they get scared about it. But everybody's different and you just gotta find somebody that knows what they're doing well. I mean, there's bad dentists, there's bad MDs, you know, there's bad chiropractors. But for the most part, chiropractic, you know, it's really safe, really effective. You know, especially in our office, really gentle adjustments. So, and it's all about, you know, just letting the body heal itself. And you know, the body is the best healer in the world because we came from two cells joined together. You know, the egg and the sperm met up, and then it formed a trillionth of cells, which is us. And you know, scientists nowadays can't even make one cell from scratch. Or the best doctors in the world can't do that. So, when you unleash that really awesome power inside you and let the body try to heal itself, some really amazing things can happen. And that's kind of what chiropractic is, you know, just letting the body heal itself and removing that interference. So it's really that simple. I mean, you guys do all the work. We just, you know, we make, you know, the adjustment and then let the patient heal on their own. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense. All right, good. All right, so now we're gonna do use a couple more stretches. We'll wait a few seconds, but I'll just explain kind of what we're gonna do. When you sit all day, you gotta sit a little bit. When you sit all day, you get this is called the psoas muscle. It kind of goes from your low back, goes through your hips here, and it kind of goes onto your, back one, Tracy. So it goes from your main bone here, your femur, and it attaches to your low back. So when you sit all day long, that muscle gets tight and contracted. And if you're sitting all day long, that can pull on your low back and kind of twist those bones out of place, and that causes a lot of pain in the low back if you do it long enough. So when that happens, these get tight hip flexors, the muscles go like this. And then the opposite of the hip flexor is your glute muscle, the muscle that goes like this. So you know your butt muscle right here, the strongest muscle in your body. When you sit all day, you get tight hip flexors, and then you get weak glutes. So a lot of people, if somebody gives you a massage and they rub on these muscles really tight right back here, then a lot of people they get really, you know, they get irritated really easily because the muscles are so sensitive, right? Have you guys tried that before? So the biggest thing that we want to do is try to stretch out these muscles here, and then we want to try to strengthen those glute muscles and hamstring muscles. Also, you get really tight back extensions because you're forward all the time. It tightens these muscles up, and you get weak abdominals too. So weak core, weak glutes, and then really tight hip flexors and tight extensors. And then, of course, you know, 50-10 rule, stay active 10 minutes of every 50 minutes. And then making habits to do these stretches every day are really what's going to make a difference. So if you do these stretches once or twice, it won't be a big deal for you. It's not going to do anything. But if you do them every single day, a few times a day, that's when you notice a big difference. So improve 1% every day, and then you do it for 3 months, you know, it's 100% improvement. So also Swiss ball, you guys know what that is? Those really big gym balls.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
really big bounce balls, you don't pick them up and throw them at somebody, you know?
Yeah.
If you guys can get one of those, that's really good too. We sell those to a lot of our patients. You can lay back on that each day, kind of just lean all the way back like this and stretch out. That's really good if you sit a lot during the day. It kind of undoes all this forward slumpy posture that we have. So we want to try to sit on that and try not to like roll over into the TV stand. That would be good, but try to get it.
Workman's comp, I'm putting it in my desk.
Yeah, there you go. That's gracious thinking. So if you just lay on that for 30 seconds at a time, kind of lay back on one of those big gym balls, that'll be really good for you too. It'll open up the chest, it'll stretch out your psoas muscle, and then it'll kind of help your neck stretch out too. So that's an awesome thing to have in your house. All right, next slide, Tracy. So, like I said, as your posture gets worse, your body tends to break down a lot faster. Like I said, you know, your lungs capacity gets worse, you know, there's more pressure put on your chest, your heart has to beat harder, there's less oxygen going to the heart too, so that wears down faster. And then, you know, you turn into Quasimodo eventually, so. We don't want any hunchbacks here. All right, next slide, Tracy. Oh, there he is. So like I said, you know, I'm sure you've seen people that are, you know, maybe even in their 40s and 50s, they're kind of
Yeah.
humped over like that, you have this big kind of like, big kind of bulge on your back here. And yeah, and then you turn to this guy eventually if you do that long enough, so.
What is that that's actually bulged? Is that their actual spine that's bulged up like that then?
Yeah, the spine is the basis for it, and then there's a lot of fluid that collects up here too, because all these muscles are trying to work really hard and it kind of builds up like fluid and edema throughout the day too. So some people might feel it's really soft up there and stuff like that, so you want to try to get this area moving the right way, and then, like I said, once you get the area moving the right way, you get well adjusted, then you want to make sure that you start doing the stretches the right way, and then once the stretches are going well, then you start doing strengthening exercises to get that going too.
Once you get to this point, is there any way to,
Reverse it.
yeah,
You can make improvements on it. I mean, you're probably not going to get back to perfect ever, but the biggest thing with us is some people on X-ray, their X-rays look really, really horrible, and they feel like they're in a lot of pain. But then we start getting them adjusted a lot better, and their X-ray might not change very much, but they'll feel a lot better because the joints are moving a lot more. Because like this, you can't see how the guy's moving. This is just a static picture right here. But once it's all about how the joints move with the body you're given. So we want to try to get people when they're here and get them adjusted the right way and get them feeling good their whole life. But once people get to here, you know, it's not like it's the end of the world. We can still get these joints moving the right way. Get them to do stretches and exercises that'll help them out a lot. They'll never be perfect again, but once those joints move the right way, those nerves work a lot better, and then that'll decrease a lot of the pain and help them function that way too. So we have like 90-year-olds that come in that have a lot of issues, they get results. You know, we have babies that come in that get good results. Everybody, anyone that's got a spine and has a lot of joints in their body can be helped with chiropractic. So yeah, once you get to here, we just got to make sure it doesn't get worse. All right, stretch break. So like I said with that Swiss ball, you can kind of take that and lay back on it like that. So we can do we stretch out some of those muscles we use when we sit all the time, so we can just take kind of go forward like this, put one foot forward like this, kind of spread your legs apart, and then just kind of lean back. You should feel a nice stretch right in the front here. Just kind of lean back like that. You guys feel a good stretch right in front here? In your leg?
I'm feeling it more in the back.
More in the back?
I can feel it now.
Yeah, so you can just do this every day and kind of stretch out that psoas muscle. It's a really powerful muscle, and it gets really tight when you sit all day. So even if you get lower to like this, you can really take the weight off your upper body and kind of stretch it out more. You can really
that low. Drop it like it's hot.
Now I'm kind of looking at my tight pants today. Just gotta get down low like that and just really stretch it out. And then your hamstrings too. If you can go down and kind of try to touch your toes, that's all right. It'll stretch out the hamstrings a little bit back there. Don't bounce with this one. You don't want to cause more damage. Just go really nice and lightly down, gently. If you have back pain and it hurts when you're doing this stuff, don't do it, of course. But you can also sit on the floor and try to touch your toes as well. So you can sit on the floor and try to reach your toes. That'll stretch your hamstrings out. And then just bringing your legs, like when you're in bed maybe at night, you're bringing your legs to your back, like bring your legs up like that. That stretches the low back out. And then even like pulling your leg to your chest too, that stretches out the glutes a lot too. So you have any more good ones?
I've done that before too, both at the same time, right, Jack? I've done it both at the same time.
If you get your
So it's
feet,
on the
if you get your feet behind your head, then you're good.
But
Yeah.
that's the goal. Then you're really stretched out.
I used to be and then roll.
And then of course you can always go to the side too, stretch out your adductor muscles here, and then go to side like that. And then when you're you can just go in at home too, you get a chair and sit down for the glutes to try to stimulate them. When you sit down, try to flex your glute muscles, and then get up after you flex, and that'll kind of activate them more. Because usually people try to like swing their body forward once their glutes get really weak and they don't use them that much. But when you sit down, just kind of you take like maybe a milk jug in your hand and hold it, and then try to get up and flex the glutes. When you do that too, that can help stimulate them and keep them strong throughout life as well. So you want to constantly think about activate the glutes, turn them on, so flex them all the time, and then stretch out the psoas muscle, the hip flexor. So you want to have strong butts around
Don't do it
it.
when you're in front of kids.
You can flex your glute muscle with just sitting in the chair. Nobody even has to know about
Yeah,
it.
in the chair. I'm just thinking I'm teaching at the smart board. Slide lane.
All right. We can sit sit down then. We got a few more slides to go on, then we'll be out of here. And, yeah, we'll zoom through this last part here. So exercise for excellence, 50 reasons to exercise. Anybody have any really awesome exercises that they like to do every day? Or any simple ones? Anybody have any good reasons for exercising?
I used to do the Leslie Sandstone walk at home videos.
Yeah, you
Those
can
were
good
really-
videos you can
yeah,
exercise at home.
And it's all to the music, set to the music, so.
Yeah.
The Pilates.
Pilates.
I got one of those chairs. I really like the strategy with it.
That's good. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, easy and compact.
Yeah, the biggest thing is finding
It's right
yep,
in my-
finding something you can do at home that you know you don't have to go to the gym for or anything like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, that's Leslie.
And it's not like hard.
Yeah.
No, Leslie.
If it helps you, you know, time goes by quickly because they keep it entertaining and they change it up a lot versus, you know, standing on a treadmill and staring at the wall right in front of your face for a half hour. Nobody wants to do that.
I love
Right.
when we fit.
We Fit?
I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
Just Dance.
I
I beat my kids all the time.
Yeah, if you guys just find something you can do at home or else, you know, find a good gym. I know that in Anytime Fitness we have some free 10-day passes at Horicon. The owner gave us some to bring to this talk. So if you guys want to try it out for a week and a half, you can bring it there and see how you like it. They give you a tour. They'll give you a tour of the whole place. If you mention that you got it from us, like a half-hour tour how to use all the equipment. So then, you know, if you feel intimidated going to the gym by not knowing what to do, he'll tell you how to use everything. So if you do want to use it, you know, you at least try it out for a week and a half and see how you like it. And that might be, the, you know, that might be the kick in the butt you need to get going for the spring here once it gets warmer. So, yeah, but yeah, if you go online, check out the 50 reasons to exercise. I mean, boosts the immune system, decreases stress, alleviates anxiety, you know, better concentration, lessens fatigue, and improves overall quality of life. So,
When is the best time though? So, like you said in the morning, that's the best right away to do it.
that's mainly just when you get right out of bed, just when you start swinging your body around.
Cause I used to do it before bed,
Yeah.
and some people were like, you exercise before bed?
Yeah, because you get the endorphins going then it's harder to relax and fall
Yeah.
asleep.
I think the biggest thing is just
I tried it.
any exercise at all you do is better than yeah. Any
See, that's
exercise.
me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Anything you do is better than nothing. So a lot of people that sit and they yell at you, but they're sitting on the couch watching. You know,
I am none of
Yeah.
the person.
they're watching American Idol till the wee hours in the morning.
I will never
Yeah.
stick it up.
But not exercising.
Just the exact minute.
Yeah, the more you can do, the better. I mean, just moving around is better than. I mean, even 1 minute of exercise is better than no minutes of exercise. So, all right, next slide, Tracy. Here's 10 more fitness facts. Wards off, keeps disease away. You know, boosts performance in all areas of your life. You know, weight loss is not the most important goal. The biggest goal is just moving as much as you can, just feeling good. And muscle weighs a lot more than fat does. So you know, some people they try to. They're all about, you know, losing the weight. But there's a lot of people that are skinny and they're really out of shape. So, you know, everybody's got different body types. You know, nobody fits a perfect mold. You know, a lot of people in magazines, you know, they do a lot of really dangerous diets, and you know, that's not a natural body. So everybody's got their own form they fit into well. And you got to find out what works for you and just be active. You know, think right, eat right, get adjusted, all that stuff. And you know, that's what's most important. When you feel good and you feel at the end of the day you're proud of the body you created, and you don't feel stressed out all the time, you don't feel like you're sick and have a lot of issues in your body, and that's what's important. So that sense of well-being is really huge. All right, next slide, Tracy. So you're meant to move. If you don't use it, you lose it. So see you job up before you into a slug. He's hit the gym before, and then he stopped doing that. Now he's just a big worm kind of. So there's probably some people, you know, that kind of job and put it on the couch all day long. They don't move around too much. So yep, you gotta use your body, or else your body's not gonna use your body, or else your body will rot away, because your body only puts effort into what you put energy into. So all right, next slide, Tracy. Yep. So physical activity. So as chiropractors, we don't give up medication. You know, medications for drugs. I wouldn't want to do that anyways. I feel guilty giving somebody a drug because I know it won't help them. But like, think of physical activity as a medication you need to take daily. So, and then exercise is one of the most potent antidepressants too, because like Tracy said, you know, it creates the endorphins and makes you feel a lot better. And nobody's ever said, you know, I regret doing that workout that I just did, because you always feel better after a workout. Right? And it's free too, you know. If you're taking $500 a month of antidepressants or tranquilizers or whatever, you know, the gym, maybe a lot of times maybe your health insurance will pay for it, or half membership, or just get outside and walk. You know, that's the the best thing you can do for yourself. Just move around.
I can't wait to go inside.
So, yeah.
Right?
So easy exercises for everybody. I mean, you can just walk around, you know, she's loving it, look at her, she's enjoying the day. Resistance training, I mean, just doing body weight stuff, you know, just doing body weight squats at home or doing lunges, easy lunges, kind of go down as far as you can, just put pressure on those muscles, and every time you flex your muscles, it puts more pressure on the bones, and then that causes the bones to not get soft as easily, so it decreases your chance of getting osteoporosis. So you have peak bone mass in your mid-20s, and then after that, your bones get weaker and weaker as you go through your life. So they never get better, they never get stronger after that. So you want to prevent them from decaying as much as you can. And by doing resistance exercising and putting stress on those bones, that's the biggest thing you can do to prevent osteoporosis from happening to you. So just simple body weight squats, doing lunges, get some of those old pink dumbbells, you know, those 2-pound dumbbells, and just, you know, do bicep curls at home. You know, it's really easy, it's fun, you can get a little toned, and nobody's going to get, you know, they tell women, you know, get all bulked up and look like Arnold if you lift weights, you know, it's like, those women take a lot of different drugs to do that, so. Yeah, the biggest thing is just, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn throughout the day too, so you want to do a lot of resistance training, just really simple stuff. If you have any questions, ever just shoot us an email, we can give you plenty of cool stuff to do. And then swimming is a big one too, it takes just go to the tag center, you know, you can go in the water, you walk around, try to do some swimming, and that takes a lot of pressure off your joints too, because the water holds up your body as well. So, all right, next slide, Tracy. And then, when is the best time? Anytime's a good time to exercise. So that's all I have for that slide. The next one, Tracy. And then here's my assignment for you guys: try to get a sweat going every day. And sweat's just a fat crying, so.
I don't sweat, I sparkle.
No, sweat's
I
the
like
sparkle,
that.
yeah, that's right.
You're fat crying. I love it.
That's
Maybe like a wellness, maybe the wellness department get some shirts, you guys can get like a walking
Yes.
group going or something.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool, you know, get cool shirts like that. And the sparkle tank tops.
I love the sparkle one, I don't sweat, I sparkle.
Alright. So responsibility of being a teacher is motivating people to act, you know, get kids to realize, you know, what they don't know. And then educating them the right way, you know, just, you know, kind of using the Socratic method, ask them questions. Kind of like I'm doing here, like ask them questions about stuff versus telling them stuff, like kind of get them to stir up the brain a little bit and have them think critically. And then the biggest thing is not only education, but the biggest thing is implementing stuff. So if you can't get, you can know everything in the world about exercise and stuff, but if you don't do any, it's not going to do you any good. It's almost worse if you know it but don't do it than if you don't know it at all. So that's the formula for success. And then tomorrow is in the hands of kids of today. So here's a cool quote that I found: "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men," by Frederick Douglass. He said that. So you know, I'm sure a few of your husbands maybe, you know, they'll never come to the doctor until, you know, they're dying or the head falls off. But if we can, you know, get kids stronger today and get them to learn how to do this healthy stuff, they won't be in the shape they're in, you know, in their 40s and 50s. They'll feel great, and you know, if they're your children, then they'll be able to take care of you better too, and you won't have to worry about them having health issues ever. And they'll have a lot more money. Instead of spending on health conditions, they can spend it on going on cool family trips or saving it up for the kids' college or stuff like that. All kinds of, you know, useful things. And then the importance of goals too. We ask people, you know, what are your top 3 health goals in our office? Say they want to lose energy, you know, or gain energy, lose weight, you know, just want to feel great overall. If they want to be able to play with their grandkids in 15 years, if they want to lose 15 pounds, we try to tell them, you know, what date do you want to do it by, and give them like kind of a time frame on how to do it. So setting goals is important, and having like checkpoints along the way. Just have attainable goals each week or each month, and then do that stuff small. So you say you want to lose 20 pounds with no objective going there, you're not going to do it because 20 pounds is a lot of weight, right? So, but if you do, you know, I want to lose half a pound a week for the next 3 months, that'd be 6 pounds you lose right there. So that's easy enough for anybody to do. So being a teacher is really important because you can give them the gift of, you know, talk to kids and have an effect on their minds, and you want to be able to use that to the best of your ability because these kids are counting on you to teach them something. Because a lot of their parents aren't doing a very good job of it, probably, maybe. There might be a few bad parents out there. All right, next slide, Tracy. So if you'd like to juice with us at Horicon, join us in creating enthusiasm. That's what JUICE stands for. We're trying to get people enthusiastic about health, you know, having health, like I said, healthy individuals, happier families, and stronger communities overall. That's the biggest thing, because when everybody in that community is healthy, then there's not a lot, you know, there's a lot less, you know, people aren't as depressed, you know, people have a lot more energy to do stuff, they're more willing to volunteer with things, help out people that are less fortunate, all that kind of stuff. So we want you guys to become enthusiastic, because nothing great was accomplished without enthusiasm. And then, you know, like I said, high level health, happier families, stronger communities. That's our motto of working on the chiropractic. So catch the fever. Enthusiasm's contagious. All right, next slide, Tracy. Now, here's some stuff we're doing in the community. Like I said, I'd like to go out and do talks. I was talking to College School at Impressions the other week, just telling girls how to do some, hold their bodies better when they're working so they can have a longer career. Because a lot of people, hairstylists, they're constantly in pain between their shoulders and they're always doing stuff like this with shampooing, and back and sore. So we give them some tips on how to take care of their bodies better so they can, feel better at work and make more money, have a longer career. And then here's me talking to a 7th grade class in HorrorCon. And then we love educating people much like this. And then community involvement, we're working on an Operation Healthy HorrorCon program, getting people to kind of get together and walk on Sunday evenings, and once it gets nicer outside, hopefully get 30 to 50 people with that. And then we're getting a newsletter going called Sweat Weekly, Steve's Wellness edition of applicable teachings. That'll be like a newsletter we're gonna get, and then I'll give you a handout if you want to sign up for that, an email. And then we do these charitable stress break massages. So we went to the bank last week and we did some chair massages for people, and we just worked out some tight muscles and kind of wore out some knots because everybody's got knots in their back, kind of breaks people's day. And then we do them for free, but if people want to give a donation, we donate money to like a group. In HorrorCon, we did the Phoenix group. It's like a group that puts on concerts in the summer and stuff, and they help out with like Cookies and Milk with Santa and a lot of other things. And they have a big music festival in the summer. It's like 30 or 40,000, but they support all that stuff. So we were able to raise $600 with just a week of doing that, and we raised $300 in the bank, matched us for $300 too. So we're able to raise money that way. So if you know of any groups that want to, instead of selling candy bars or cookie dough or any kind of junk that you feel obligated to buy, but it's really bad for you, but it tastes awesome, but you're not gonna, they'll pay for it later. This is another really good option to do, to raise money without getting people sick. And then of course, world-class chiropractic